Ancient Nepal is deeply interwoven with mythological stories, legends, and the veneration of gods and goddesses. The spiritual heritage of Nepal, a cradle of both Hinduism and Buddhism, is shaped by ancient texts, local myths, and the reverence for divine beings. To understand the ancient period of Nepal, it's essential to look at how mythology, religious beliefs, and legends have shaped its history. 1. The mythical origins of Nepal, creation myths and legends. The Kathmandu Valley is a lake. According to Hindu and Buddhist legends, the Kathmandu Valley, where the capital of Nepal is located, was once a vast lake filled with serpents, nagas. The story says that the Bodhisattva Manjushri, a divine figure in Buddhism, came from China or Tibet and, seeing the potential of the valley to be a fertile land for human settlement, cut a gorge at a place called Chobar with his flaming sword. The water drained out, transforming the lake into a habitable valley. This mythical act is believed to have been a starting point for human civilization in the valley. Myths of Lord Vishnu and Swayambhu. Another legend says that when the lake existed, a lotus flower grew in its center. This lotus transformed into a flame of light, Swayambhu, on a hill, giving rise to the Swayambhunath Stupa, often known as the Monkey Temple, one of the oldest and holiest Buddhist sites in Nepal. This legend represents the divine presence of Lord Vishnu, who is believed to have incarnated in Nepal in various forms. Namuni and the naming of Nepal. In another legend, the name Nepal is said to be derived from the sage Namuni, a wise and revered figure who guided the early inhabitants of the valley and established the principles of justice, governance, and social order. Under his guidance, the people lived in peace and harmony, and the land came to be called Nepal, meaning the protected land or the place protected by NE. 2. The Kirat dynasty, the earliest known rulers. The Kirat period, circa 800 BCE, 300 CE. The Kirats are considered the earliest historical rulers of Nepal. According to the epic Mahabharata and other ancient texts, the Kirats were a Mongolian tribe who ruled over the Kathmandu Valley and the surrounding regions. Yalambar is believed to be the first Kirat king, and he is said to have met the Pandavas during their exile, aligning himself with the Kauravas. This story ties Nepal to the broader mythological narrative of ancient India. The reign of the Kirats. The Kirat period is noted for the worship of nature and animistic deities, with a strong emphasis on the reverence of snakes, nagas, trees, and stones. The Kirats are also credited with the introduction of the worship of Lord Shiva in the form of the Pashupati, Lord of Animals. The famous Pashupatinath temple in Kathmandu is believed to have been a significant religious site during the Kirat period. 3. Legends and divine encounters. Hindu gods in Nepal. Lord Shiva in Nepal. Nepal is often referred to as the abode of Lord Shiva. According to Hindu mythology, Lord Shiva, accompanied by his consort Parvati, spent much of his time in the Himalayas. The sacred site of Pashupatinath, a temple dedicated to Shiva, is considered one of the holiest Shiva temples in the world. Legends say that Shiva once disguised himself as a deer and hid in the forest at Pashupatinath, enchanted by the beauty of the valley. When the gods found him, they pleaded with him to return to his divine form. Parts of the deer fell at different places in the valley, which became sacred sites. The tale of Sati's immolation. According to another legend, when Sati, Shiva's first wife, immolated herself in protest against her father's insult to her husband, Shiva wandered in grief with her body. Parts of Sati's body fell at different places, which became sacred sites, known as Shakti Pithas. One of these sites is believed to be in Nepal, at the Dakshing Kali temple, dedicated to the goddess Kali. Lord Vishnu and the Budnalkantha temple. The Budnalkantha temple, also known as the Sleeping Vishnu, is a revered site where a massive stone statue of Lord Vishnu lies on a bed of serpents in a pool of water. According to legend, Lord Vishnu, exhausted after creating the universe, came to rest in the tranquil valley of Nepal. This myth symbolizes Nepal as a divine resting place. 4. The influence of Buddhism, ancient legends and sacred sites. The birth of Buddha. Nepal is also the birthplace of Siddhartha Gautama, who later became the Buddha. Born in 563 BCE in Lumbini, a region in the southern plains of Nepal, he was the prince of the Sakya kingdom. Legends tell of his miraculous birth in the Lumbini garden, where his mother, Queen Maya, gave birth to him while holding onto a sal tree branch. He is said to have taken 7 steps upon birth, and lotuses blossomed under each step. Lumbini is today one of the most important pilgrimage sites for Buddhists worldwide. Buddhist legends and bodhisattvas. Nepal has a rich tradition of Buddhist mythology. For instance, Padmasambhava, also known as Guru Rinpoche, is said to have visited Nepal in the 8th century and meditated at Pharping, near Kathmandu. He played a crucial role in spreading Buddhism to Tibet. The legend of the Swayambhunath Stupa involves a miraculous self-existent flame symbolizing the self-arisen nature of enlightenment. The stupa itself is regarded as an embodiment of the Buddha's wisdom. 5. The Licchavi period, divine kingship and religious synthesis. Licchavi dynasty, circa 400 CE, 750 CE. The Licchavi period saw the rise of Nepal as a significant cultural and religious hub. During this time, Nepal became a center of both Hindu and Buddhist learning, art, and architecture. The kings of the Licchavi dynasty were considered divine rulers, often described as incarnations or representatives of gods on earth. They were great patrons of both Hinduism and Buddhism, promoting religious tolerance and synthesis. Myths and temples. Many temples and stupas were constructed during the Licchavi period, reflecting the myths and religious beliefs of the time. The Chango Narayan Temple, dedicated to Lord Vishnu, is believed to be the oldest temple in Nepal and is associated with various myths, including the legend of Lord Vishnu saving a Brahmin from sin by appearing in a changa tree. Similarly, the construction of many Buddhist stupas, such as the Buddhanath Stupa, is linked to divine intervention and miraculous stories. Sex, legends of the goddess, tales of Devi worship.